Hello, I am Dr. Abhilasha Narayan, consultant gynae-oncologist. I would like to make my contribution by creating awareness about cervical cancer, its prevention and screening. I would want to highlight on cervical cancer prevention. Cervical cancer is the second most common cancer in women in India at present. And if you go globally, we can see about more than 6 lakh cases every year with more than 3 lakh deaths every year. And you will not believe me that this is a preventable cancer, and in spite of that we are seeing so many deaths and so many incidences per year. As a woman or as a cancer surgeon, what we can do to prevent this cancer? Best two ways to prevent cervical cancer is one by screening, the second one is by vaccination. Screening means every woman who is sexually active should undergo a cervical cancer screening in their lifetime every 3 to 5 years once. So when do we start screening? Every woman, once you are sexually active, that is starting from the age of 25 years, every 3 to 5 years once till 65 years, you have to undergo a test called pap smear. Pap smear is a very simple outpatient test wherein your gynecologist or your gynae-oncologist will take a brush and will take just a small smear of your cervix. It takes just 4 to 5 minutes for the procedure. It's a painless procedure, and those cells are sent to the lab to detect any changes which has already occurred in your cervix, and you need to repeat it only once in 3 to 5 years. That too, why I'm saying 3 to 5 years is if you do only pap smear, it is 3 years, and if you do it along with one more test called HPV DNA testing, you have to repeat all these tests, both the tests, only once in 5 years. It is a very cost-effective procedure because you are gonna prevent cancer by doing both the tests once in 5 years. Please go and consult your gynecologist or your gynae-oncologist today and get your pap smear with HPV DNA testing done today itself. This will definitely pick up any of the precancerous lesions which is harboring in your cervix, and if that is treated properly, cervical cancer won't develop in the long run. And coming to our second method, that is your vaccination. Cervical cancer is caused by a virus called HPV, that is human papilloma virus. Improving immunity with vaccination, we can prevent cervical cancer from developing over the years. The virus takes almost as minimum as 5 years to 30 years for cervical cancer to develop. If we catch this virus early and you treat the precancerous changes, or you vaccinate yourself and improve the immunity to fight this virus, cervical cancer can be prevented from developing. HPV vaccine is available in India. It is approved from 9 to 45 years of age. Actually speaking, a boy child also has to be vaccinated, but right now there are no guidelines in India as such. We are only pushing forward for female child vaccination. Ideally speaking, you should do it within 9 to 15 years of age. Once sexually active, the efficacy of the vaccine comes down, but nevertheless, women can get themselves vaccinated till 45 years of age. 3 vaccines available, that is your Cervarix, Gardasil and Gardasil 9, and currently India is also releasing its own vaccine which will be available to the public in lower cost in around short time. Every female child is vaccinated, cervical cancer eradication can be hoped in the future. Why I am stressing so much on prevention of cervical cancer is because early cervical cancer hardly has any symptom. Once you come to us with symptoms, you are already in an advanced stage. The effectiveness of the treatment is very less, though there are a lot of new modalities of treatment like chemotherapy, radiation and all. The effectiveness of treating an advanced stage cancer is less. That is why we have to prevent cervical cancer from developing. We only see symptoms when it is like stage 3, stage 4, wherein you will have persistent white discharge, your foul smelling discharge, or you will have bleeding in between your cycles, that is called intermenstrual bleeding or post-coital bleeding. Even at least if you have gone ahead and taken vaccination or done your pap smear, but at least go to your doctor if you are having these symptoms and immediately detect it. If you are detected in early stage, curability rate also is very high, but most of these symptoms come in later stages. By that time, treatments are available, but the curability is not 100% assured. Cervical cancer eradication can be hoped in the future. Thank you.